In the circle, Caitlin Terry, the freshman. This will be her first NCAA tournament appearance as well.
Yeah, Caitlin Terry only being that freshman. This is a seasoned player. She's gotten the ball in some really big games as the season has gone on. So yeah, freshman is the title of where she's at, but she is throwing the best that she has been all season long. She is such a bulldog in the circle, very competitive. That 18-1, she's a fierce competitor. So this is a team that we know has to have her back defensively. We've heard that multiple times. Coach Kellyanne Perez has made it clear you have to have a player like this back. She feels that energy, and she's getting the ball.
And Caitlin Terry has been the one that's been carrying a majority of the innings as of late. She threw 31 straight innings heading into and including that first outing in the Pac-12 tournament because they were trying to rest their other arm, Taylor Tinsley, which we do expect to see her this weekend at some point. Saw her a couple of times in the Pac-12 tournament last week that UCLA won.
I think that really is my only question mark for this. Like, is Taylor Tinsley going to be able to throw more than 1 or 2 or 3 innings in a regional, or is this going to be all Caitlin Terry, right? Those are the questions you have to ask, especially with them being younger.
Treeweiler hits this one out to Jadalyn Alchin in left field, 1 away.
Because you know, like, to get it done with one pitcher nowadays, it just doesn't work that way. Every team has to have kind of that yin for yang balance off of each other. I think that's so important. And the one cool thing I think about UCLA, both of these pitchers have picked up the slack for each other when they've gone down or when there's been things that they've struggled with. And Caitlin Terry had to take November, December, and January off, and then she started to kind of pitch a little bit in January. So it took her a little bit, I would say, to probably get her feet under her. You don't just go back in a month and you're ready to rock. It's going to take some time, and you saw Taylor Tinsley really go out and start to kind of log some good innings. And Taylor Tinsley down a little bit. We saw her last weekend, but Caitlin Terry has been doing a good job of just being that go-to gal.
Yeah, here's Kayla Rogers, the left fielder. And Terry already ahead. 3 pitches, sits her down.
And this is interesting, too, because Kayla Rogers, I mean, she's a .458 average against those left-handed pitchers, and she leaves this up for chance. This is way too close, this curveball. 2 strikes.
On the first pitch coming in to Ramsey Lopez, Caitlin Terry looking so comfortable out there. I mean, and just talking to her, you can see the confidence that she has. Her team has backed her. The roles have been kind of reversed, whereas you mentioned she was not 100% entering the season. I'll say that Ramsey Lopez did not go. And Taylor Tinsley was the one with the majority of the innings, and then they've switched those roles as of late, and you can just, talking to both Caitlin and Taylor yesterday, you can feel the confidence in these underclassmen.
When they feed off each other well, because they really are polar opposite type pitchers. I mean, Caitlin Terry and her fast twitch muscles and how she's able to get so much with her frame. I mean, she's 5'5", 5'6". I mean, she throws upper 60s and she is whippy through her pitch. It's impressive. And then you have someone like Taylor Tinsley, a little bit taller, some decent velo, no doubt. I mean, 65, 66, but it's that off speed and the attention to detail with that pitch that makes her so tough. So when both these pitches are healthy and they're rocking together, they are such a good combo.
That makes it a full count here, 3-2 to Ramsey Lopez, who's hitting .429 in her last 9 games. Pop up, it's going to stay in the infield. And Seneca Curro calls it. 3 up, 3 down. A quick
on that changeup. That means total swings and misses outside of the zone. So bring that changeup down, you'll get those swings. But her velo's up about 4 miles an hour from last year. So you will see her anywhere from 63 to 67 miles an hour. And that's hard to do in the off season. The work and the weight room and the little things to help make her stronger has been key.
Let's take a look at the Capital One starting lineup for UCLA. And of course, you can't miss the top of the order in Maya Brady, the do-it-all for UCLA. Second in career home runs. Back-to-back Pac-12 Player of the Year. And most recently, a top 10 finalist again for the USA Softball Player of the Year.
Yeah, tough to not put her in that top 10 for sure, especially that back-to-back Pac-12 Player of the Year. This is the last of the pack, too, so it's a little bit sad when you think about it. But
what do you like about her at the top of the order for UCLA?
Man. The pop and the power, I think, is so key. But more importantly, she's just one of the most consistent hitters, right? Like, there is such a fear factor with someone like Maya Brady. When she steps in the box, she sets the tone. She is that senior, so it's those little things. To me, this offense goes as Maya Brady goes, and she's been clutch for them.
And not just with her bat, with her leadership. This is a UCLA team that started the year 3-4. But even with that, they went on to win the Pac-12 regular season and tournament titles, and her vocal leadership was so important.
Yeah, Kelly Inouye Perez had kind of brought us into that conversation in the sense where at the beginning of the year, it's definitely not how you start, but it kind of gave me the same vibes of Texas when they made it to the national championship and how they started in that St. Pete tournament, right? Where everyone's like, holy moly, like, what's going on with this team? And then you look at UCLA and the bounce back, and it is at times because you have those leaders that are like Maya Brady.
Leading with her voice and her bat, she bounces it off the wall and has a double.
And just the clutch factor, Kelly Inouye Perez definitely loving it. Anything that's elevated up to someone like Maya Brady, she can barrel it up in a heartbeat. Line drive right to the warning track.
Kelly Inouye Perez will take that, the former UCLA Bruin player herself. Maya Brady with her 11th double of the season. And now followed by Jadalyn Alchin, the transfer from Washington, who has got a tough job hitting behind Maya Brady. But she's done well, hitting .305 on the season. Fouls off the other way into the net.
Well, and the importance, I think, for Haley Hudson, it's going to come down to being able to keep, obviously, the ball in the park. And if we're going to elevate the ball up at all, it has to be with conviction on a corner, underneath the hands, or a good amount on the outside part of the plate. This is a team that's obviously familiar with this ballpark. It's their own. They're 190 fences. I mean, it's a crime in this game. The hitters
Not
love
if you
it.
love the offense.
The hitters love it, but
Yeah, it says the pitchers.
us pitchers don't love 190 fences. And I played here, so I felt like it's okay for me to be able to say that. Okay. Not at UCLA, but
yeah, as an opponent.
Yeah.
(2-2). Haley Hudson facing Jadalyn Alchin. After Maya Brady had a double. They say she did not go.
This is a Grand Canyon defense, has to play on their toes behind someone like Haley Hudson. I mean, 51% of the time, she is rolling you that ground ball in the infield. So it's always being on your toes, knowing you have someone that likes to use that defense.
Ball forward, puts Alchin on. And dangerous to give this UCLA team a free pass, especially when you have Charlize Palacios coming up. She has a home run in 5 of her last 11 games. All 5 of those either tied the game or gave UCLA the lead. So definition of clutch.
Yeah, clutch factor, no doubt about it.
Including against Arizona, her old team, in the Pac-12 tournament last week.
And I like pitching coach Mary Beth Gorsuch coming out, have a quick conversation with Haley Hudson. The respect between these two is there. I mean, just listening to Haley talk about her and just the things that she's been able to learn has been key. So the one thing we did hear from the head coach, Shannon Hayes, he said she's so situationally aware, Gorsuch, to be able to come out and talk and start to kind of help pitchers when they need it. And it's a big moment here. I mean, the leadoff on, and then you get the walk, and now you have one of the hottest hitters on UCLA's lineup. You gotta be careful.
Yeah, how do you handle Palacios here if you're Haley Hudson?
Money spots, really working on hitting good location. I mean, if you leave a meatball, it's gonna be a three-run home run, out of here in a heartbeat. So it's just being a little bit more precise with that location. Sometimes that can be the hardest part.
Palacios had just owned that catching role. What a huge get for UCLA a couple of seasons ago in the transfer portal, and especially now with 2 underclassmen pitchers. And so if you look up Charlize Palacios' weighted heat map in stats, according to our friends at 643 Charts, you get this. What does this tell you?
So the weighted is where she's had the most success. The blue is where it can tend to be a little bit icy. So
it's going to be foul.
We're wanting to be precise about doing your homework on hitters like that and being able to take a peek at something and say, hey, a little bit icy on the outer half. So when I'm going to spin a curveball or I'm going to throw a drop ball, that red you see on the outside part of the plate are probably those curveballs that have missed. So it's like, hey, that low drop ball away, you hit a good spot down in the zone, you can get a hitter like that.
To the grass and right. Maya Brady gets the stop sign at third. Bases are loaded thanks to Charlize Palacios. And the top 3 hitters in this order for UCLA have all reached. A double, a walk, and a single. Load them up for Megan Grant with no outs. Grant has a couple of grand slams this season. One against Oregon, one against CSUN. She's had 4 home runs in her last 10 games.
Megan Grant, bases loaded, is 4 for 6. 2 grand slams, 11 ribbies.
That one goes high. Grant lays off for ball 2.
And it's not that Haley Hudson hasn't been able to get ahead of these hitters or get back in and have 2 strikes, but to me, the biggest difference right now for UCLA is just a put-away pitch. We saw it last weekend in that Pac-12 tournament, how good they are, how scrappy they are. They battled against Mariah Lopez with Utah. They are a tough team.
Megan Grant! Oh, short to the warning track, but Maya Brady can tag up and score. The UCLA fans got to their feet. It sounded good. Runner will be out at second. So Palacios will take a seat. 2 retired in that play, but a run also scoring for the Bruins.
Definitely a deep ball by Megan Grant. That's going to score a run, but it's kind of that cat and mouse game that Charlize Palacios was trying to play a little bit, and Grand Canyon makes that good throw to second base.
Here's Jordan Woolery, the first baseman.
And sometimes I don't mind playing those types of games, right? Like, yeah, you have to be able to execute the throw, and Kepa'a had that ball, and she was kind of checking and sneaking a peek at Palacios, but maybe not enough, so she thought she'd try to take that extra base and ended up hurting them. But a team has to make a play on that too, and I think with the jitters of what it's like playing right out of the gate, I think why not push that envelope? And
here's the play at second base.
And you kind of see Palacios sneaking a peek, looking, and Kepa'a with the throw right on the money, and that's what it's all about. Just being able to execute those little plays under pressure, and Grand Canyon could do it.
So now it's Alchin at third for Jordan Woolery, who's got a 2-2 count and 2 down. I think it hit her. So that puts Woolery on. Two free passes, a walk, and a hit by a pitch in this inning. Brings us to Savannah Pola, the DP. As you see, Grand Canyon head coach Shannon Hayes trying to get his team out of this without any more damage done.
And reassuring there's 2 outs. I think those sometimes are the things where the moment, yeah, it feels big, there's pressure, all the things, but hey, we got 2 down. Let's go, let's find a way to get back. There's been only 1 run put up, and sometimes it can feel bigger than it is, but reassuring them.
Right to Caitlin Dunkel at short, and UCLA leaves 2 on.
There.
Yeah, they return 4 starters, 3 pitchers from that team that beat UCLA last year. A Grand Canyon team that comes in on a 6-game winning streak and set the single season record for wins. It's their 4th 40 or more win season. 48 victories on the year for the Lopes. Interesting enough, their 3rd straight regional appearance, and they've all come here to UCLA.
Yeah, that seems to be the trend for some of these teams. We're seeing it happen.
Yeah, we have, what, 3 of the 4 teams that were here last year? San Diego State, Grand Canyon, and UCLA. Second strikeout tonight for Caitlin Terry. She sits down Kristen Fifield. Both strikeouts coming looking tonight.
And that's really going to be the biggest adjustment, I think, for these hitters. It's like not getting frozen up on pitches, and that's one thing Shannon Hayes had mentioned, head coach. At times our lefties tend to have a little bit of trouble with that sweeping curveball on the outside part of the plate. And I said, well, did you guys get on the machine leading up to this week? What do you think?
Yeah, of course.
Like, all right. Well, those are the tasks when you get into the postseason, to try to find a way to be able to execute, whether or not we're making adjustments in the box and moving around, getting on the plate, getting off. But you know, coming into a series like this, that Caitlin Terry is more than likely that solidified ace with a little sprinkle of Taylor Tinsley in the mix. So if you're able to get to her, that to me will give that Grand Canyon team extra confidence, right? So I think the importance of being able to make adjustments sooner than later is going to be key for them.
So far, it's been tough going against Caitlin Terry. Just through 5 batters, though. Caitlin Dunkel, the shortstop, stepping in. You know, Shannon Hayes told us, too, last year, you know, we beat UCLA, and that was great, but we didn't follow it up the next day. They lost the next day. They were eliminated eventually, and they haven't talked about last year coming into this tournament.
And sometimes I don't see the point, right? Like, yeah, you won that epic game, and that was great, and that kind of put UCLA in the hole and put you in a position to go and do something big, and they weren't able to kind of do that. So I think it's more so about like how this season has gone on. Yeah, that was cool while it lasted, but
Dunkel bounces it off the wall. She's going to have to stop it first because a quick throw in from Janelle Maonio, the birthday girl, to keep that from being a two-bagger.
And we've seen this a couple times today where runners hit absolute tanks to the warning track and think that it's a double, no doubt, and then they catch themselves halfway having to go all the way back to first. These are short fences and they're padded, so when this ball goes right off the wall, as a runner, those are the little things we have to be able to pick up and know those outies are right there, able to make a throw, a little bit of a shorter field at times than maybe we're used to. 220 to dead center, 190 down the line. So running the bases at times, those are the little things to be aware of when we're hitting hot shots to the warning track.
Next is the center fielder, Micaiah Gomez, after Caitlin Dunkel got the first hit of the night for Grand Canyon. And ricocheted off of the bat onto Palacios. She's okay. And Terry ahead 0-2.
And Caitlin Terry's been working. I mean, every single hitter so far she's faced, she's getting 2 strikes, getting ahead of these hitters. Couple backwards Ks. And sometimes it just takes one hitter stepping up and doing something big that can ignite this, maybe we'll say a little bit of confidence into the rest of the lineup. And for instance, looking at a Caitlin Dunkel and just that hot shot, maybe that's what this team needs to give them that, oh, okay, we can take a breath, because there's more pressure at times, I feel like, on a Grand Canyon coming into this game based on what they did last year than maybe it is for UCLA. They're home, it's their home crowd. They may not feel as much pressure as maybe a Grand Canyon may.
Well, keep in mind, too, these Grand Canyon hitters, they're 9th in the nation in average. They hit .338 on the season. I mean, this is a good offensive team.
Very good. And the hardest part in the postseason is being able to make adjustments and clutch hitting. That's really at times what it comes down to in those super tight, close games. The teams that can adjust the quickest and someone can step up. But as a team, 91.
Gomez. Off the wall. And that one, it gets away from Alchin. Bounced a little bit harder off that padding. That is 2 Lopes that have taken a softball off the wall. A single and then a double here for Gomez, back-to-back.
Yeah, Gomez, I mean, another rocket. It's a curveball elevated up. I thought for a second maybe this was going to have some hang time to get out of here, but it was so close. Bounces off the top of the wall. Some momentum here.
That's her 15th double of the season. That ties her for the team lead with 2 other players.
Well, and you have the UCLA defense. They are in like crazy, knowing the importance, trying to get that run at home.
And Savannah Kirk is up now, the WAC Freshman of the Year, actually facing her travel ball teammate, Caitlin Terry, who's pitching to her right now. Might have been a little more fun when they were on the same team and she didn't have to face Caitlin Terry.
Caitlin Terry has so much ice in her veins where I'm sure to her it's just straight beast mode. And those slappers, it's being able to control that outer half when we're running through a pitch. And that can be the hardest part, being a lefty going up against a lefty. So shortening up a little bit with that soft slap.
And Caitlin Terry is going to strike out her old teammate from travel ball.
Yeah, this is just not going to happen. If you're swinging at pitches like this, it's going to be an out. This is way out of the zone. Kind of chopping at it a little bit.
Now Tenley Lucas. Caitlin Dunkel at first after a single to get on, and then Micaiah Gomez at second for her after her double for Tenley Lucas.
That off speed. Caitlin Terry, we'll see her throw that at times, but definitely not a bread and butter pitch for her. That rise ball and that curve ball are those go-to pitches. I don't know why we even go change when you're getting swings and misses like that. I mean, it's just straight by you with the heat.
See the smoke coming off of it from up here. Now 2-2 to Lucas. Back-to-back strikeouts for Caitlin Terry. And Grand Canyon leaves 2.
I like Royce. I want to meet him.
I know. We got to work on that. UCLA has been to the Women's College World Series more than any other program. 31 times. They have more national championships. 12 NCAA titles. That's more than anyone else. 7, 8, 9 up for the Bruins as they lead this game here in the regional by 1. It was a sac fly by Megan Grant. UCLA had the bases loaded with no outs, but only able to come up with 1 run in the last inning.
Well, and I've seen a lot of runners left on base this last little bit in this game, so it's going to come down to that piece, being able to someone step up and kind of get the big dagger hit, the one that's going to hurt. And gotta love the offense on both sides. I like Grand Canyon responding.
Seneca Curro off the wall, stays in the park. She's still going to third. Sliding into third goes Seneca Curro.
And that has to feel good if you're Seneca Curro. I mean, her last 9 games, she's been batting 167. So to be able to step up here in the bottom of the 2nd inning and be that leadoff is huge. But it's about playing it off the wall properly, right? Knowing that that wall has some good bounce behind it. And I would say Fifield just didn't seem like she was in the good position to have Gomez's back in that moment. I think that should have been a double and not a triple.
It's just her 2nd extra base hit of the season. She had no doubles, no triples, 1 home run until that moment.
Yep.
So now Tessa Malaulu up in the 8th spot. Last 8 games hitting .222. Oh, and that hits her in the shoulder. 2nd hit batter tonight for Haley Hudson. Janelle Mayonio up now, and the crowd sings happy birthday to her. Where else would you want to spend your birthday?
I don't know.
Maybe
Hawaii?
if you're Amanda Scarborough, maybe the SEC tournament every year.
Yes.
Mayonio's average has shot up over the last 8 games, 467. Get this, though, her average in her career in the NCAA tournament as a redshirt senior, 310 in the NCAA tournament. Runner is going and in trouble. But the ball was dropped by Dunkel. So that allows Malaulu to get back safely to first. Still no outs.
Well, and a little bit of a miscue there. I think Seneca Curro has to go home on that if you drop the ball, that's your go-ahead, especially when she looks down and drops it, but decides to stay at third.
Kuro led off the inning with a triple, and then Malaulu was hit by a pitch. That brings us to Meonio. Timmy Lucas scooped that up quickly behind the plate. Everybody holds here. Full count coming to Meonio.
Well, and the key thing is Maya Brady on deck. The last thing you want to do is walk the bases loaded to her and how clutch she's been.
Second time tonight that UCLA has had the bases loaded with no outs. And what's scarier than facing Maya Brady the first time is facing Maya Brady the second time.
Yes.
With the bases loaded, Maya Brady is 6 for 7 with 2 home runs, 17 RBI, and a double. Woof. Maya Brady.
And Shannon Hayes, head coach, made it clear Ariel Thompson is going to be a pitcher they need in this regional. She went down a couple weeks ago, had got a comebacker pretty hard, took a little bit of time off, but said this is a regional where she's going to need to step up big for us.
They said they need all their pitchers. She was the one that came in and finished the win last year against UCLA. But again, took over 6 weeks off because she took that ball to the head. Maya Brady into the gap, 1 run across. 2 make it across the plate off the bat of Maya Brady. One of the best in the game.
I don't know, Courtney, at 3-0, do I just intentionally walk her at that point? Like, I'm going to have to give her something good, and that's exactly what happens. At a 3-0 count, Maya Brady has the red light, an absolute rocket. I think I would have put her on in this situation, just knowing how good she is at the top of the lineup. You're already down 3-0. Why give her something she can hit?
It's her second double of the night in her second at bat. This one for 2, Ribby.
The rule of thumb, not getting beat by the best player, and that's back-to-back dubs for Maya Brady.
So Meonio at third, Brady at second for Jadalyn Alchin. Still no outs.
And Ariel Thompson, I mean, she's going to come at you with some different stuff. She can climb that ladder, has that off speed. We've seen her throw it a couple times here to Jadalyn Alchin, has that curve as well as that screwball. But it's about coming in and trying to be sharp right out of the gate when you have and get 2 strikes on hitters. Use that defense, trust them.
Up in the sky goes Alchin. Running in is Rogers. And there's the first out. Runners hold. It just doesn't get easier, though.
No, it doesn't.
And then you got Palacios back up.
I mean, I kind of put her up there with Brady territory. We got an open base. I cannot give her anything too sweet here.
She was the Pac-12 tournament MVP last weekend. Hit 2 go-ahead home runs. One against Arizona, her former team, and then the other one against Utah in the championship game. She was 4 for 8 in that tournament.
Yeah.
2 home runs, 4 RBI. Palacios lifting it to the trees. 3 games in a row with a home run for Charlize Palacios. She's a beast.
Well, that is 3 straight games for Charlize Palacios, where she has gone yard. 7 home runs in her last 14 games. I mean, I guess pick your poison when it comes to either giving something good to a Maya Brady or a Charlize Palacios, but she did to both hitters, and this is where UCLA is going to get you. The experience that these hitters have in moments like this, especially when their backs are up against the wall. And I look at this regional as if that's what UCLA feels. They don't want a repeat of last year. They're coming out with a different type of adrenaline, and we are going to destroy you mentality, and you're feeding into giving the best players on their teams balls that they can do stuff with, and that's why you got a 6 spot. I don't know.
We're in the second inning.
I put Charlize on.
Yeah.
And I try to roll some type of a double play, hope that I can get Megan Grant to roll into something. I guess it's the nature of the beast sometimes, but
just like that, you blink and UCLA is up 6-0. And still just 1 out. That foul ball will even it up 2-2 for Megan Grant at the plate. Grant, what do you think?
It's not the first time that I've seen it.
Right.
You don't see it a ton, but at times almost kind of ice the hitter mentality a little bit. Hey, she's seen someone that's primarily off speed. Let's bring in that velo with someone like Megan Schumacher. I mean, she throws significantly harder than Ariel Thompson, so maybe that had a little bit of method to the madness, but
she's going to see 2 pitches from Schumacher and take the free pass. Jordan Woolery up now. Was hit by a pitch in the first inning. That was against Haley Hudson. We're just in the second inning, and UCLA has had the bases loaded twice with no outs. Could only get 1 run off of that in the first inning, but here they have plated 5. The majority of those coming off a 3-run bomb from Charlize Palacios. But the tone was really set at the start of this inning by Seneca Curro with a leadoff triple. And Gomez with the scoop in center. Grant safely back to first, 2 away. Ninth batter coming to the plate in this inning for UCLA, Savannah Pola.
Right now, for Megan Schumacher, it just comes down to what pitch can you get ahead with. You know she has that that drop ball. She can throw that curve, can go up in the zone as well as that screwball, but a lot of balls.
And now 3-0 to Savipola. In comes the strike there from Schumacher. Back-to-back strikes.
One thing UCLA can do, and I know I've said it, but they just battle. When you fall behind and then get back in, they're going to make you work as a pitcher. You're going to see a lot of pitches, but can you outdo them as a pitcher, or you're going to throw another ball, right? And that's sometimes what happens. You have to have that mentality to continue to hit good quality spots. You need to be a little bit more consistent.
And you're going to hear the cheers from the crowd because a pinch runner is coming in for UCLA, and it's Gabriela Jaquez, who just recently joined the team, a member of the basketball team. Of course, her brother also played on the men's basketball team here at UCLA, but Kelly Inouye-Perez said they needed depth in their pinch running department. Now, she can only be here today because she has a family wedding the rest of the weekend. So this might be the only time you see her. But Jaquez getting in the game. Oh, fake out.
Big fake out.
Man. Just kidding.
Good thing I have erasable pens.
That's right. You're welcome. Megan Grant is back out there. So now UCLA has batted around. Seneca Kuro led off this inning with a triple. Came around and scored a run. Hot shot to Kepa'a on the hot corner. And UCLA leaves 2 on, but not before.
These things happen. I mean, a regional is a long weekend. You got to drop 2, but to lose game 1 of a regional is tough. It puts you're back up against the wall, and you got to continue to keep fighting. But I cannot say that I was expecting that.
Crazy. We have had 5 lower seeds win today. Bryn Jordan-Smythe is leading off this inning for Grand Canyon, stepping into Lovey Kepaha's spots in the 9-hole. Now here are the lower seeds that won today. Liberty, UCF, Southeastern Louisiana, the Slookies, the SIU team.
You know who else lost that wasn't on that list? Utah.
Yes.
That was big for the Pac.
Yes.
Yeah, that one hurt.
Utah made it to the Pac-12 tournament final. Lost to this UCLA team. So 3 balls and a strike here, and Charlize Palacios is going to go out to her freshman Caitlin Terry that has been so good today. Struck out the side last inning. 4 strikeouts on the evening. True freshman.
And Charlize is such a boss behind the plate. Like, she's the type of catcher that I can sit up here and be like, I really wish that I would have got the chance to play with or throw to. Just with her experience, she's so calm.
Oh, my Brady web gem. Bruin magic at shortstop.
Yeah, she's a highlight reel there at short. So good. Defense pinched in. Hot shot. Gotta love the reacts of the teammates and the excitement. This is a team that is fully aware. The defense is big. They have to be able to step up for Caitlin Terry. And mind you, I mean, she's putting zeros up on the board. But a couple weeks ago in that Arizona series, that was a tough series, gritty.
Ashley Treeweiler into foul territory. Scooped by a sprinting Jadalyn Alchin. 2 down.
And Kelly Inouye-Perez had come out in that Arizona series and called everyone in, like outies everyone into the middle of the circle, and just straight up was like, hey, do you guys have her back? Because it doesn't seem like you do. And I think it was a moment for that freshman pitcher to not feel the pressure of having to do it by herself. And that's the vibe at times I've got a little bit from Caitlin Terry, is feeling that like, oh, I have to do it. I have to do it. But when you start to get into that, like, oh, okay, I have a great defense behind me. Like, I know they are right there with me. It can give you just that extra sense of calmness or that deep breath. Mind you, a 6 spot on the board helps too.
Well, and the game you're talking about was senior day against Arizona, their rival. They scored 7 unanswered?
Yes. In 1 inning, 11 unanswered total.
Total, yes. They were down by 7. Came back and won.
That was a huge turning point, I think, too, for just everything. This had been a Bruin team throughout the season that has found ways to continue to get better and play. Conference play, I mean, huge. Outright winning the Pac-12 and then winning that Pac-12 tournament. But sometimes those, like, just little moments of team getting together and feeling that is what allows you to go into the postseason knowing, hey, we're all connected here. We're dialed. And that's one thing I feel like I remember the most about the postseason. Like, you feel it when your teammates are behind you as a pitcher and you're rock solid, and you feel when they're not.
5 strikeouts now for Kate. Coaching staff too. Mary Beth Gorsuch. Sandra Wente. Cindy Sherrill was the Florida State standout. Tessa Malauulu takes the first pitch out to center. UCLA batted around in the last inning. They also scored 5 runs. Some defensive changes. Smythe is in left field now. Nolan at third base for GCU. Here goes Mayonio. Does not beat it out, but does bump over Malauulu.
Good sack by Janelle Mionio to advance that runner, knowing every single run counts, but enough speed up the line where you think maybe this would be a base hit, but good defensive play. Also think testing out the new third baseman, Nolan, is big in a situation like that. Speed sometimes puts that extra pressure on the defense.
Speaking of pressure on the defense, I feel like every time we look up, Maya Brady is batting.
Agreed.
This is her 3rd time up. She has 2 doubles and 2 RBI. And 2 runs scored. And 2 Pac-12 Player of the Year titles.
Yeah. And an 0-2 count.
I love it when things line up like that. Hopper back to Schumacher in the circle. But Maya Brady, the first time she has not reached tonight, that will move over Malauulu to third. winner of this game will get Virginia Tech tomorrow in the winner's portion of our bracket. Remember, it is double elimination each round. Loser of this game will play San Diego State tomorrow in an elimination game.
Good job by Jalen Alchin to work this count back. It dropped to a quick 0-2. He's been so good behind Maya Brady in that 2 spot.
She's reached via the wall tonight. Had a 10-game hit streak, which was a career high going into the Pac-12 tournament final. It ended in that final. Start a new one here, bounce it off the wall, and give Alchin an RBI, sliding into second safely. Malaulu scores.
And we've seen a lot of close plays at second base. And we haven't seen any challenges whatsoever with even how close the plays have been. Definitely see hands are getting into the base first, but there have been some bang bang. Audi's doing a good job playing the ball off the wall well. There have been some hot shots off the bat.
Now 2 down, a runner in scoring position for Charlize Palacios.
And that's the one pitch at times that I look at that Palacios can have a little bit of trouble with, that off speed, 182 average off the changeup. Everything else is just money. Curveball 463, screwball 500, drop ball a little lower, 263 average on that pitch. So those are the little things as a pitcher I'm aware of. Hey, if you're hitting below a 200 clip on a change, I feel like I got to ride that pitch out.
Evens it up at 2-2. Remember, too, Palacios missed the postseason last year with a broken left hand.
Yeah.
So, you know, she's loving to get back here and help her team.
And that was a dagger for UCLA when she went down.
Dagger.
It sounded a little Canadian, actually, coming out of you.
And coming out of you. In the best way.
Good patience, working that count.
It's the 3rd walk that Megan Schumacher has issued. Now, keep in mind, the first one was when she entered the game. It was already a 2-2 count to this batter, Megan Grant.
These GCU pitchers have worked those full counts 6 times against UCLA, and they have not recorded an out on them. And I think at times those can be the frustrating parts when you're going up against an offense like that, right? Like, hey, you work it, you work it, you work it, you foul balls off, but it's that pitch to be able to get out an offense like this, not giving in, not missing with a pitch over the heart of the plate.
Lisa Olstein is the pinch runner, by the way, at first base. And we've learned, too, the reason that Gabriela Jaquez came in to pinch run and went out was there was an issue about her number on the lineup card, so she couldn't actually enter the game. Fair ball hops over to Ashley Treeweiler, and UCLA leaves 2 on, but they do bring a run home. Now by UCLA head coach Kelly Inouye Perez. Also, Lisa Fernandez was standing by somewhere, but no, just Kelly right now. I did want to ask you, Coach, moving Coach Fernandez over to help with the offense more, how's that impacted your game planning this year?
You know, the best part about working with Kirk and Lisa is the versatility that we all have to be able to work with all different parts. To be honest, we all work with the pitchers and catchers. We all work with the hitters. But putting Lisa in charge has just been a big part of why this team has been able to come through late in the game. There's a lot of studying done. Will and Bubba, Lisa, and Kirk have really done a great job of being able to create a game plan, make adjustments. We knew that they had a lot of different pitchers, and I'm really proud of their ability to adjust, and that really starts from the top with Lisa.
Coach, it must feel good. I mean, scoring every inning so far, and that just kind of gives Caitlin Terry her first postseason experience, probably a little bit of weight lifted off her shoulders as well.
Yeah, you know, I think we've been waiting for this moment. You know, our goal was to be our best at the end, and you know, I think the exciting part for us is KT is no longer just a freshman. She's getting great experience. The team is playing behind her. You know, we've been pumped. We've been fired up for this moment right now. The game's not over. You got to respect the game, but I love what we're doing so far.
Thanks, Coach. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
So this is the head fake. We weren't sure. Oh, Kelly started calling Coach Fernandez over. We thought we might have Lisa Fernandez on the mic.
We were
no,
deeked
then
out.
she was like, no,
like,
absolutely
no
not.
way.
It's not for me.
We'll get her.
It's a long weekend. I did love talking to Coach Inouye Perez yesterday about that attention to detail, and you're seeing it show up big time with these Bruin hitters.
And you're seeing at times, and I'll use a reference to these pitchers that are getting certain things. They've also brought Rob Schweier on, one of the men fast pitch guys, and he's connected a little bit with Taylor Tinsley. And she said to us, hey, he helps you with the mechanical piece, and that's something that she needs out there. And then you look at someone like a Caitlin Terry, where Kelly Inouye Perez has pushed at times more of a Lisa Fernandez with the mentality piece out on her. So I think that that's like a cool thing, that they have all these coaches in their back pocket that they can use and kind of help better these athletes. I say more mentally, because everyone comes in here pretty talented, but what gets you to that next level is purely what's between the ears, and obviously the attention to detail on the work. But if you don't have that mental game, you're in tough.
We've seen that today alone in the first game of regionals for a lot of teams.
Oh, man.
The mental piece being so important.
I love a good upset, Courtney. I don't mind it.
I'm here for the mayhem.
A lot of softball left.
Love it. Ramsey Lopez is up right now. It's a 2-2 count to Lopez from Caitlin Terry, who has struck out 5 tonight. And you can make it 6 now. Truly the best way, unless you're at a game. Or if you are, opportunity to pull up the ESPN app, watch it on your phone. We may or may not have it on an iPad here in the booth. To be determined. Kristen Fifield.
Ooh. And that's a pitch that we've seen Caitlin Terry start to throw a little bit more of in a game like this, because it's a pitch that she's most definitely going to need the more you go into the postseason, knowing you can't get away with velo all the way. So when you have a 7 spot, man, that's when you have to toy around with pitches, get out of your comfort zone, throw something that maybe in your gut doesn't feel right, but it's all about building that confidence on that pitch. And confidence comes through repetitions and throwing it, and at times seeing yourself be successful with it, but sometimes no. And has also added that drop ball to her repertoire.
And that one hit Kristen Fifield. Kelly Inouye Perez asking about this one, if she fouled it off first. think it might have hit Charlize Palacios, too. Behind the plate. Well, they're laughing, so that's a good sign.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Give Palacios a minute here.
That's actually off the knob of the bat. I mean, there's a lot of hang time with that arm guard, by the way. That thing is hanging off. But I mean, we're not seeing a whole lot of replay reviews here, right? We've seen one today in the game earlier?
Yes, I think just one. And Jordan Woolery comes over. Grabs that for out number 2. Does she have priority on that?
She does. I mean, it is right in the circle, and obviously Caitlin Terry is an athlete, and I'm sure she can fend for herself, but sometimes you will see that where the defense, besides the pitcher, will just take priority in a situation like that, and I think she would have been fine if she caught it, but she was probably a little frustrated. She didn't get to. Me back in the day, ladies, I'm going to just get out of the way. I'm going to let you
really?
take the reins.
I would think it would be the opposite.
Overhand throws, wasn't like keen on that, really had to work on that, but
you were good with the underhanded ones.
Really good at underhand. Overhand needed a little work. And it's okay later in life to call yourself on it.
Call time here and switch out the softballs for Caitlin Terry. Gomez making Meoño run to the wall. And a runner left on for Grand Canyon. Little Graham, you guys won 3 straight WAC tournament titles. What's been different about this year's group that you were able to do that again?
Well, we have better pitching than we've had, and we've stayed in games and pitched it well, and unfortunately we haven't done a good job of that tonight to stay in the game. But you know, we've got a good deep staff, and hopefully that'll show as the tournament goes on.
Coach, I know you had mentioned yesterday at times Sid Sherrill would be in the dugout kind of talking hitters approach. The bottom half, second time through for your hitters going up against KT, adjustments you want to try to see them make off of her?
Well, I mean, she's done a good job of changing things up. I mean, they're a smart coaching staff over there, and so we're trying to get the ball down to hit and not swing at the up stuff to have a chance, and we haven't done a great job of it so far, so hopefully we'll get it going.
Thanks, Coach. We appreciate it.
You bet.
So we see another pitching change here for Grand Canyon as Emily Darwin enters the circle. She'll be the 4th new arm that we've seen for the Lopes tonight.
And he's spot on with his pitching staff. I mean, he has a lot of pitchers, 5 with 40-plus innings on the season that all have pretty good ERAs. And the goal for Mary Beth Gorsuch was to try to get a below a 2 ERA as a team. And Shannon Hayes was like, hey, like, you're already doing a fantastic job. Like, it's not that you don't want to set the bar high. You can continue to keep doing those things. But remember how good these ladies are and how they complement each other so well. And, I mean...
And they came into this game with a 2.38 ERA.
Yeah. Her goal was below 2 as a team. And that's hard with 5 pitchers on staff. Like I said to him yesterday, hey, when you have 3 pitchers, that's definitely stuff that can happen. But 5-plus pitchers, and those 2, and Sid Sherrill and Mary Beth Gorsuch have been really key for this program. The experience that they both were able to have in college, Mary Beth at LSU and what she experienced, and Sid Sherrill and her run in 2018 with the Knowles in the national championship, and both of them will get into practice. Sid Sherrill will be out there taking ground balls and pushing them, and that was something that Treeweiler said to us. She said, man, the impact Sid Sherrill has made on me, being able to come in from the outfield to play D, has been big. She's just continued to work with me, and it's been huge.
Ashley Trewiler playing at first base. Jordan Woolery leading off here in the 4th inning for UCLA. This will be a bit short. Smythe coming in and 1 away. Shannon Hayes' first season was in 2022, and you see the improvement. I mean, from 19 wins before he took over to that 22 record of 39 wins. Her 3rd straight appearance in regionals and in this regional.
Well, and when we asked him, like, hey, what are the core values that you're bringing into this program when you first got in? And he kind of smirked a little bit. He goes, number 1, compete and have fun. Seems pretty simple, but number 2, you want to be kind and thankful for the opportunities that you're getting in this game. And number 3, it's just softball. And easier said than done. Sometimes, at times, it really would feel like life or death to me. And that sounds like a lot coming from my mouth, but the pressure athletes will feel. So to be able to put those things out in the open and talk about them and let these athletes know that it is just softball. It's not, you're not defined.
Brent.
I don't know if it was her bottom hand or her top hand on that swing.
Well, now she shows bunt.
It's just not fair.
And Emily Darwin went down to try to pick it up and missed the ball. Pole is feeling better now. And so a pinch hitter here for UCLA will be Ramsey Suarez. She leads this Bruin team with 8 pinch hits, 6 RBI off the bench. Her last 10 games, 667.
Wow.
Smoking.
I love it when you tell me the little nuggets. Surprise me.
Full of them.
Keep me on my toes.
A lot of those supplied by Jeff Muir, our statistician. Our stat czar.
I want to tell everyone that. Wanted you to provide
credit where credit is due.
Amen, always. No one like Jeff Muir. He's going to be sitting to my right all weekend. You better get used to that.
There's a spit of seating chart change. I'm not happy about it.
No, I sure am. I'm getting all the stickies.
I know I'm having to swipe them from you. Time called here. 2 balls, no strikes to Suarez. Now 3 balls. As Hopper gets up on Nolan at third, she's still able to make the play. That does move the runner into scoring position. And that's an important runner for UCLA because that represents what would be their 8th run of this game. And remember, if you're up 8 after 5 innings, the game is over. So back to Tessa Malaulu.
And I'd say the one thing for Grand Canyon today, it's falling behind to these hitters at times. And when you're falling behind, you're having to play catch up. And when you're playing catch up, you got to bring something a little bit more over the heart of the plate. And against a UCLA offense like this, it's tough. You always need to find a way to get ahead. Yeah, you're going to have your battles and certain hitters where I don't want to throw a strike right out of the gate. And I think of Maya Brady and I think of Charlize Palacios. You have to be careful. But besides that, when you continue to fall behind, you're playing with fire, and sooner or later you're going to get burnt. And that's what we've seen.
A sliding Smythe will scoop that ball off the bat of Malauulu, and you through 4 innings, just 2 hits, no runs, struck out 6. And something that's really helped this battery, talking about Caitlin Terry and Charlize Palacios, is the beginning of the season. Remember, UCLA started 3-4, and Kelly Inouye Perez said, you know what, I'm going to call the pitches. It was Palacios and Terry working together, and Tinsley, of course. She's like, let me take that burden off of you. There's so much data now. The hitters are so good. I want Palacios to focus on my underclassmen pitchers, and that has made a huge difference for UCLA.
I agree. There's definitely a different attention to detail on the pitch calling piece when you're that vet presence behind the plate. But then you have 2 pitchers that are young. Taylor Tinsley didn't get postseason experience last year. Quite frankly, she didn't get a whole lot of innings last year with Brooke Yanez and Megan Framo, so she didn't know. At times, it was almost like she was a freshman coming in because she was supposed to be that ace. And I think there was probably this piece of Charlize that felt this pressure, right? When these pitchers were giving up some big hits early on in the season, she felt that, and Kelly Inouye Perez felt that. So I think it was like, hey, stop worrying about the pitches that you're calling and the hits that are being given up. Allow me to take that piece and that burden and just focus on what you can control, and that's it. Just be there for those pitchers, and that's what she really has done, and they're lucky to have her.
Kelly Inouye Perez is not a bad one to be having to call the pitches for you. I mean, a Bruin herself, of course. So smart with the game. I always learn something talking to her. Easy scoop for Maya Bray. Loser will get San Diego State in an elimination game to start the day. Well, our second game of the day tomorrow from here. There's a lot of games.
There's a lot.
We'll play 3 tomorrow. Tomorrow we start at 2 p.m. local time, 5 p.m. Eastern with our 2 winners.
And I know on those Saturday 3-game days that we only chat during the broadcast. I try to...
For 3 games?
For 3 games. We try to keep it, you know, once we're off air and we're making our bathroom breaks and stuff, leave Courtney alone.
I don't want to talk to you the rest of the time. Just kidding.
The previous years you were not pregnant, so tomorrow definitely count me out to not have much conversation going in between games.
Well, Tinley Lucas just struck out looking to get Caitlin Terry her 7th strikeout.
And Caitlin Terry's most strikeouts that she's had since Long Beach, April 23rd, she had 10.
Yeah, her career high is 12 against Weber State earlier this season. Smythe. Alchin calls it. UCLA with an opportunity here in the bottom of the...
Run up on the board.
So now the pitcher, Caitlin Terry, is actually going to step in and hit here in the bottom of the 5th inning. If UCLA were to score 1 more run, the game would be over. Terry's first AB since the Washington series. She's 0 for 2 on the year. There comes the first strike from Emily Darwin. She's the 4th different pitcher that we have seen tonight for Grand Canyon.
Good pitch by Darwin. The hard part is when you fall behind. Got to play catch up, getting back in this. If you can get ahead of a hitter like Caitlin Terry, who we know hasn't had a whole lot of at-bats on the year. And those are the things as a pitcher that you have to know. Emily Darwin, hey, it's probably not specific. Last time she had an ups was Washington, but I got to attack a hitter who I know isn't consistently in the lineup day to day.
And she will strike out. The first strikeout tonight for anybody on the Grand Canyon pitching staff goes to Emily Darwin.
And battles back.
And now the top of the order to Maya Brady, up for the 4th time. She has 2 doubles, 2 RBI, 2 runs scored. This one hops right out to center field. And for the 3rd time tonight, Maya Brady is on. So Maya Brady represents the winning run at first base with Jadalyn Alchin coming up to the plate. Back to Darwin. She's going to second, looking for 2. They get Maya Brady, but Alchin is safe, so now she is the winning run at first.
Oh, Caitlin Dunkel gets this ball right back up the middle. I thought maybe it was going to be a double play. Excuse me, Darwin goes to Dunkel to then try to tree wheeler with the double play, but Jadalyn Alchin from that left side, a lot of speed.
Now Charlize Palacios has reached every time she has been up, a single in the first, a 3-run home run in the second, and a walk in the 3rd inning. Palacios? Are you kidding? She just walked it off for UCLA. Her 2nd home run of the night wins it for the Bruins. Loser will get San Diego State in an elimination game to start the day. Well, our second game of the day tomorrow from here. There's a lot of games.
There's a lot.
We'll play 3 tomorrow. Tomorrow we start at 2 p.m. local time, 5 p.m. Eastern with our 2 winners.
And I know on those Saturday 3-game days that we only chat during the broadcast. I try to...
For 3 games?
For 3 games. We try to keep it, you know, once we're off air and we're making our bathroom breaks and stuff, leave Courtney alone.
I don't want to talk to you the rest of the time. Just kidding.
The previous years you were not pregnant, so tomorrow definitely count me out to not have much conversation going in between games.
Well, Tinley Lucas just struck out looking to get Caitlin Terry her 7th strikeout.
And Caitlin Terry's most strikeouts that she's had since Long Beach, April 23rd, she had 10.
Yeah, her career high is 12 against Weber State earlier this season. Smythe. Alchin calls it. UCLA with an opportunity here in the bottom of the